Sometimes it's the little things that make life more fun, and this Govee TV Backlight 3 Lite is one of them. And it's not just the cool RGB backlighting it offers, which helps reduce eye strain when watching in a dark room, it's the cozy, exciting vibe it creates. Whether you're watching a movie, gaming, or just hanging out with friends or family, it adds a whole new dimension and level of immersion. The magic here is the camera. It captures what's happening on screen and mirrors those colors onto your wall, extending the action beyond the TV itself. It's crazy. It feels so natural that you don't really even notice it until you turn it off. Then it's like, wait, where did that magic go? Honestly, I thought I'd hate the camera because, let's be honest, it looks a bit ugly sitting on top of a sleek, modern TV, but the effect is so good, I just don't care anymore. It's totally worth it. Now, before you go and buy one, this type of backlight isn't for everyone. There are a few things you need to know before buying because not all of these TV backlights are made equal. I've tested a few and I'll help you pick the right one for your setup. Let's jump right into the pros and cons of the Govee TV Backlight 3. Pros, the coverage is awesome. Even on a big 77-inch TV like this, Govee introduced fisheye correction camera technology, and I mean, this is my first experience with a camera, but on my setup, it looks very even and consistent on the wall. Whatever they did, it's working well. The colors are rich and vivid in the dark. It's great. The Govee Backlight 3 is so bright. I find the sweet spot for me is around 40% brightness. I appreciate it has more oomph than I need, so I can crank it up to really showcase the effect. The setup to install was pretty easy, though it did take quite a bit of time. This is not just an LED strip you stick on, plug in, and it just works. It takes a while to align and calibrate the camera, but they have good instructions, and I thought the install was quite straightforward. I did have to take the TV off the wall. The app is great and offers many cool options for the Lite. However, it is extremely robust, but it can also be a little overwhelming at first. It's tricky to master, but ultimately it works well. And the lights are also voice activated, which is a nice bonus. If you have a smart speaker setup, you can control it with voice alone, which is helpful for others in the house. Look, the main reason you buy this particular TV style of backlight is because you want the immersive effect. And even at 40% brightness, the immersive effect is seriously impressive. Plus, I find the brighter the light, the bigger it makes the TV feel. This is a 77-inch TV, which is already large, and with the light on in full movie mode, it makes the TV somehow feel much bigger. It's very cool. Now, while it's cool and all, let me get into a couple reasons why you might not want to buy this light. With my cheaper LED strip, I like that it plugs into the TV USB port and gets its power from that. So whenever I turn on that TV, the LED lights also turn on, which is nice. Then when I turn the TV off, the lights turn off as well. With this Govee, since it has a big brick which needs to be plugged in independently from the TV, I have to turn this on separately when I turn on the TV. Same with turning it off. It doesn't do it automatically, and it's kind of annoying. Now, there is a setting in the app called black screen, which automatically turns the light off and on, but since the camera detects light, if you have reflections in the room, that can trigger the light on. I find it doesn't work that well. You can also use voice commands to turn it off and on, or just use the app. I just don't love that it doesn't turn on and off with the TV. Please comment below if you have any tips about automating the power with this light, because the fact it's powered separately is a bit of a pain. Since I'm hiding cables in the wall to have a really clean look for my TV, as I talked about in my how to easily wall mount a TV like a pro video, I had to run the power cable from the Govee Backlight through these holes, and it's not a long cable. I'm installing another Govee light behind this TV, and thank goodness when I wall mounted this TV and ran cables a few months ago, I was smart enough to run a power extension cable behind the TV as well. I did not expect this light strip to have a power brick, but since I have power near this TV, it will look fine. I really wish it was able to get enough power through the USB, but it can't. The brick is annoying and can make clean installs a little bit tricky. The camera isn't super stable on my thin TV. I'm not confident it will stay put, especially if my kiddos are playing Just Dance or bouncing around. It seems okay so far though, but just doesn't sit properly on a thin TV. Plus, I'll be honest, this is such a beautiful OLED screen. I feel the camera looks a little bit tacky. Also, the immersive effect can be a little bit jarring at times. If there's a lot of changes happening on the screen, it can be quite distracting or even a little bit unsettling. But I found when I turned the brightness down, it was better. And there are other backlight options you can use, like full screen color mode, static color mode, etc., instead of the partial screen color, which is what I like to use. But I think the partial screen effect is the one to use and really why you buy this. It's fine 99% of the time, but sometimes you might notice it bouncing around more than you want it to. It doesn't come with a remote. And since it doesn't have a remote, only those with the Govee app installed on their phone can make changes to the effects, colors, and turning it on and off, etc. That is a real pain when you have people like parents or friends over who don't know how it works. Now, to be fair, it does have voice commands, which is great if you have a smart speaker, but it doesn't always work properly, and it's tricky to remember all the voice commands. I have my phone on me all the time, so I don't mind using the app, but if you're sharing this TV with others, it might take some time to coach people on how to use it properly. So, should you buy the Govee TV Backlight 3 Lite? Despite the quirks, I really do love this backlight. It adds something special to movie nights, gaming sessions, and even just chilling with the ambient lighting. I think if you're looking to level up your TV with immersive, dynamic RGB lighting, you're okay with using the app or voice controls instead of a remote, and you think you can manage with the power cable during the installation, this light is 100% worth buying, and you'll absolutely love it. I think once you put it in the immersive mode at the correct brightness, you shouldn't ever need to fiddle with the settings very much. You just have to worry about turning it on and off. I am very impressed with the quality of both of the lights and the camera. Govee continues to lead the charge when it comes to providing high quality at great value. And these often go on sale too, which is great. I see RGB lighting companies popping up all the time over the years on Amazon, but Govee has remained consistently at the top. It really seems like they're listening to their audience and refining not only the products, but the app as well. Nice work, Govee. I will share the best deals I can find in the pinned comment and description below, as they are on a hot sale right now. But if you click the link and see that they're no longer on sale, be sure to check back in the near future as they often go on sale. But honestly, even at the full price, I think they're worth it. If you don't care about the immersive changing lighting and you just want a light that turns off and on with your TV, I will share other RGB light strips below because I'll be honest, having a remote for the kids and others is nice. And having it plug into the TV USB port makes it a lot easier to hide the cables, which I think looks good. It's not as fancy, but it's still better than not having any light at all. Plus those kinds of strips are usually cheaper. Well, that's it for today. What do you think? Do you like the fancy camera and immersive lighting effects that Govee offers? Or do you think a plain old RGB light strip that turns on with the TV is better? Let me know in the comments below. I love products that make life more interesting or fun. And this Govee makes life a little better for me, and I think it would make life a little better for you too. In case you missed my video on how to easily wall mount a TV, which you should because it looks awesome, check that out here. Otherwise, here's what YouTube thinks you'd like to watch next. And in case you want to see my other Govee reviews, I'll leave those down below. As always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it if you're able to quickly thumbs up the video. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. If you like finding things that make life better, I'd love to have you. See you next time on Upgradeitis.